Welcome back to Camping with the Coles. I'm Ben Coles.
And I'm Cheryl Coles. We've been camping together since the 80s, and in 2010 we purchased our first travel trailer. We've been camping in trailers ever since then. We started our YouTube channel in 2019, and
in 2024, we started writing articles for RV Lifestyle magazine.
Yes, and this year we are venturing into our 7th season of YouTube videos, Camping with Coles.
So today we wanted to talk to you about things we wished we knew when we first started RVing. The type of things that would have really helped us in the very beginning. So we want to help you, and that's what this video is all about. We're going to start with your tow vehicle. Are you using the vehicle you currently have, or are you thinking of getting a new vehicle? What features and numbers should you be looking at? Next, we want to match a trailer to the tow vehicle. What you should be looking for in a trailer, the important numbers and features. Then we're going to talk about actually going out camping in your trailer and when you arrive at the campsite. We have some tips and tricks we've learned over the years that can make your camping adventure much easier and more enjoyable.
We got our first travel trailer in 2010. Before that, we had been camping in tents for over 20 years. Before we got our first travel trailer, we never really even looked very much into what was all involved. At that time, we knew that we probably needed a truck to tow it. We didn't want to limit ourselves too much on trailer size, so we bought a 2007 Ford F-150 two-wheel drive with a 7,000-pound tow capacity. That was about all we knew before buying a travel trailer. We found a used 2004 Starcraft Travel Star 19CK hybrid travel trailer. We saw on the sticker on it that it weighed 2,841 pounds. We could see that that was well within the towing capacity of our truck, and we'd have no problem with that setup. The trailer came with a weight distribution hitch, so it's not something we had to think about. We just used it, not really knowing much about it. So for the next 7 years, we happily went along, filling up our truck and our trailer with gear and hitting the open road. We learned many lessons along the way. Then in 2016, we decided it was time for a new truck. We got a 2016 F-150 with a tow capacity of 10,800 pounds. So that was way more than our old truck, and it got much better gas mileage. Towing the hybrid was a breeze. In 2017, we decided to buy our dream trailer, the model we had been dreaming about since 2013.
And as you can see, it's our first time with the Coachman Freedom Express 254 DSX that we just picked up 3 days ago.
We knew it had a dry weight of 5,448 pounds. We were all set because our truck could tow practically double what the trailer weighed. We had no concerns about weight or towing capacities. Shortly after getting the new trailer, we noticed that even with the weight distribution hitch that the trailer dealer installed for us, the back end of the truck sagged, and when we were behind cars at night, our headlights were blinding drivers. The advice we got was to get airbags installed. We got some airbags, and that helped level out the truck and not blind drivers at night anymore. Problem solved, or so we thought. Then, after a few years, we noticed uneven wear on the rear tires of our trailer. Eventually, it was determined that the rear axle was bent. We had to get a new rear axle. We were told by the RV dealer that they didn't make the 3-inch axles anymore, so we had to get a 2.5-inch axle, but it was still rated for 3,500 pounds. 7 months later, we had to replace that axle, again, with a 2.5-inch axle. We were able to take the truck and trailer to a weigh scale. Our gross vehicle weight rating of the trailer is 7,500 pounds, and we were at about 7,525 pounds. We then made a concerted effort to reduce the weight in the trailer. We dropped the weight down to about 7,300 pounds. The next year, we had to replace that axle again. We went to a spring and suspension shop instead of an RV shop and found they still do make 3-inch axles, so we got the 3-inch axle. So far, we've done a full season with that axle and no problems. Fingers crossed.
Because of all those issues, I then did a deep dive trying to figure out how to deal with this stuff. So I was looking at the weight ratings for the truck and the trailer, and there is a lot out there.
There's a lot.
But I needed to look into it because I didn't want this to happen.
What's that? The cold backboard. Oh my God.
There are so many numbers when it comes to your tow vehicle and trailer. For the tow vehicle, you have towing capacity, dry weight, gross vehicle weight rating, cargo capacity, front gross axle weight rating, rear gross axle weight rating, hitch weight, and the gross combined weight rating. We're not going to go into everything here. That would make for a much longer and more boring video. You can find some of these numbers on a label in the door jamb when you open the driver's door. You'll see the gross vehicle weight rating of this truck is 7,050 pounds. And the front gross axle weight rating is 3,600 pounds. And the rear gross axle weight rating is 3,800 pounds. Then it shows some other stuff about the tires. On the next sticker, it shows the cargo capacity on this truck is 1,685 pounds. For the other numbers, you'd have to look at the Towing Guide's book or online for your specific vehicle. You've heard the saying, you're only strong as your weakest link. Well, that definitely applies here. For small vehicles like cars, minivans, and small SUVs, the weakest link is going to be the towing capacity or the tow rating. If you're talking a larger, more traditional tow vehicle like a pickup truck, the weakest link is probably going to be your cargo capacity. Tow rating includes the total weight of the trailer and all its cargo, and the cargo weight in the tow vehicle. That includes passengers. The cargo capacity includes everything that goes into the truck after it leaves the factory, but does not include a full tank of gas. For small tow vehicles like SUVs, cars, and minivans, you know you should be looking at small trailers like pop-ups, teardrops, and maybe small hybrids. In those cases, your trailer tow rating will likely be the weakest link and the most important number for you to know. It's the number you're most likely to exceed. Now, there is so much information and misinformation about this out there. I was once at an RV show and I overheard a salesman talking to a potential customer, and the customer was looking at a trailer that had an unloaded vehicle weight of 3,000 pounds. So that's the dry weight of the vehicle. The customer mentioned that he had a minivan, and the minivan had a tow rating of 3,500 pounds. The salesman said, "That's no problem. You're well within your limits." Well, I was very surprised he said that, because that's not really the case. Because the 3,000 pounds is just the dry weight. That's the trailer without anything in it. So yes, if that person decided that they were going camping with that trailer and their tow vehicle, they could do it if they didn't carry anything else with them. But that is never going to happen. I think it's best to look at the gross vehicle weight rating for the trailer, and that is 4,400 pounds for this trailer. So the maximum weight the trailer can be is 4,400 pounds. And in our experience, most people get close to that maximum weight. They're a lot closer to the gross vehicle weight rating when they go camping than the dry weight number. That puts them 900 pounds over their towing capacity if the trailer is loaded for camping. And at that time, it was a few years ago, the tow rating was based on one 150-pound occupant in the van. Well, let's say you have a 200-pound occupant in the van with that person, and maybe a couple 100-pound kids. Well, now you're talking an extra 400 pounds on top of that. So now you're up to 1,300 pounds over the towing capacity. And that's not even with the van loaded up. What if you wanted to put a couple kayaks on the roof, or you want to put a cooler in the back, or some other equipment? You can easily get to 1,500 or 1,600 pounds over the towing capacity. I had to step in and talk to this potential customer and let them know the dangers of buying that trailer. They would need a much bigger tow vehicle for that trailer. I'd recommend probably a tow vehicle that's rated to tow about 7,000 pounds for that trailer. For larger tow vehicles like pickup trucks that are towing larger trailers, usually the cargo capacity of the pickup truck is the first number you're going to exceed. Let's briefly have a look at the towing ratings for pickup trucks. A 2024 Ford F-150 is advertised to have a tow rating of 13,500 pounds. Now, in order to get that tow rating, you have to have a very specific set of features on that truck. A 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 with a 6.5-foot box and a max tow package gets you that 13,500-pound tow rating. Anything else isn't going to get you there. If you have that same truck as a 5-liter V8, instead of the 3.5-liter EcoBoost, your towing capacity is now 12,900 pounds. If it's the 3.5-liter PowerBoost V6 hybrid, that's the electric gas hybrid, well, you have a towing capacity of 11,200 pounds. If you have the 2.6-liter EcoBoost V6, that's a towing capacity of 8,400 pounds. And if you get the F-150 Lightning with standard battery and max tow package, that's a 7,700-pound towing capacity. For the highest tow capacity F-150, it has a cargo capacity of around 1,800 pounds. For the others, the cargo capacity goes down from there. Let's look at some common items that might go into a truck when going on a camping trip. Any aftermarket items you've added to the truck. We put a cap on our truck and it weighs 175 pounds. We have a tool bin and tools and a folding ladder in the back of the truck, plus everything we put in the cab, like in the center console, glove box, and door storage. That could be about 150 pounds. Believe me, I weighed it. Then there's passengers. Let's say a 200-pound driver, a 150-pound passenger, and a 50-pound dog. Now that's 725 pounds, and we haven't even started packing for the trip. Now let's say we want to tow a trailer with a dry weight of 5,500 pounds. Sounds great, well below the 13,500 pound tow capacity. But the actual GVWR is 7,500 pounds, so that's more accurate of what the trailer will weigh. Ideally, the weight on the hitch should be 10% to 15% of the weight of the trailer. So that means a hitch weight of 750 pounds to 1,125 pounds. So let's hook up our trailer. We have to add a weight distribution hitch, that's 100 pounds. That means 725 pounds of cargo in the truck, with the weight distribution hitch, and best case scenario, 750 pounds in tongue weight, for a cargo weight of 1,575 pounds. That means you only have 225 pounds of camping gear that you can put in your truck to go camping. However, if the hitch weight is 15%, which is 1,125 pounds, that means your cargo weight is 1,950 pounds. You're 150 pounds over your cargo capacity, and you haven't even put any camping gear in your truck. The box of your truck is basically empty, and that's with the highest rated towing capacity for an F-150. What happens to the kayaks you want to put on the roof? The two folding e-bikes you want to put in the box? The kayak and e-bike gear, the skid wood you want to bring because the camp wood's camp chairs, spare propane and butane, a cooler full of drinks, and on and on. See what I'm saying? You can be way overweight in no time. If you have a look around at campgrounds, you'll see mostly half-ton pickups like the Ford F-150 towing similar sized trailers as ours. I'd bet most of them are overweight. You may hear from a lot of people that they've been towing like this for years and they've never had a problem. I'm just saying, according to the numbers, they're overweight. On the Ford website, they have a towing calculator. You can enter the VIN number of your truck and it will give you all the numbers for that truck as it came off the factory line. You can enter all your weights like passengers, cargo, and accessories, and it will let you know how much you can tow. Let's have a look at it. Here it is, and I've already put in the VIN number of a 2024 F-150 3.5 liter V6 EcoBoost with a 6.5 foot bed and the max tow package. These are the numbers direct from Ford. The GVWR is 7,200 pounds. The GCWR is 19,400 pounds. The max payload or cargo capacity is 1,832 pounds. The occupants are two 150-pound people for 300 pounds. The max tongue load is 1,350 pounds, which is 10% of the max tow rating of 13,500 pounds. Let's hit the configure button to add some weight to this. So if we load this up like our last example with all the camping gear in it, the trailer is now rated to tow 5,370 pounds. That's a bit of a problem when we have a 7,500 pound trailer to tow. And that's if the trailer is weighted perfectly at 10% tongue weight. If it's weighted at 15% of the tongue weight, that towing capacity goes way down. You might just find that your big F-150 with a towing capacity of 13,500 pounds can actually only tow a utility trailer. We already talked a little bit about the trailer. The dry weight doesn't really mean anything. Even when you're pulling away from the dealership, you're not going to be towing the dry weight of that trailer, because usually the dealer's going to add a battery, maybe an extension cord, a sewage hose, maybe some black tank chemicals, things like that. So even pulling away from the dealership, you're going to be towing more than the dry weight. So the important weight to look at is the GVWR. Subtract the dry weight from the GVWR and you'll know your cargo capacity of your trailer. Our trailer has a dry weight of 5,500 pounds and a GVWR of 7,500 pounds, which means a cargo capacity of 2,000 pounds. And we pretty much use up all of that 2,000 pounds. We were camping at Watkins Glen State Park last year, and a trailer pulled in next to us, and I couldn't believe how long that trailer was when it pulled in. I had a look at the axles and the tires just from where I was sitting, and they looked to be the same type of axles and tires and wheels that we have. So I thought it probably rated to carry the same thing that we have. So I was very curious. I talked to the owner of the trailer. Turns out it's 39 feet, and our trailer is 30 feet. I then went and had a look at the sticker at the front driver's side of the trailer to have a look at the weights. And I saw that trailer has a dry weight of 6,600 pounds and a gross vehicle weight rating of 7,500 pounds. So that means the cargo capacity is only 900 pounds. Can you imagine if I told Cheryl that we got a bigger trailer with a lot more storage? It's 9 feet longer. It's going to be awesome. Oh, there's one caveat there. We can't even bring in half the stuff from our current trailer into this trailer. How do you think that'd go over? I think we'd be looking at a divorce at that point. So when we look at trailers, we pay particular attention to the cargo capacities. For the size of trailers we're looking at, 7,500 pounds is quite common to be the gross vehicle weight rating. So if it's a 5,000 pound trailer, that means you have 2,500 pounds of cargo capacity. And if you have a 6,600 pound trailer, that means you have 900 pounds of cargo capacity. So choose wisely. I will say if I was to be overweight on one of the things, either the trailer or the tow vehicle, I'd be overweight on the tow vehicle because I have a lot more faith in the build quality and structure of the tow vehicle than I do in the build quality and structure of a travel trailer. You can find these weights on labels on the outside of your trailer, usually on the driver's side near the front.
Now that we have our tow vehicle and our trailer, let's get camping. There are a few things we do right away when we get a new RV. If the trailer has a gross vehicle weight rating of over 5,000 pounds, you should get a weight distribution hitch. Usually the RV dealer will tell you that, mostly because they want to sell you another item. But it's actually necessary. The tow rating on your truck is based on using a weight distribution hitch when towing over 5,000 pounds. Take pictures of every label on your trailer and your truck. Many of those labels will fade over time, and they have important information on them about weights. Keep them somewhere accessible, like Google Keep on your phone. Look into getting insurance for your trailer. Some insurance companies add on to your home insurance and your auto insurance, and some companies just have a separate RV insurance. Look into roadside assistance. You might currently have CAA, but that only covers your vehicle. What happens if your tow vehicle breaks down? CAA will tow your vehicle, but what about your trailer? What if you get a flat tire on your trailer or you get locked out of your trailer? Your vehicle CAA won't cover that. You need to get additional coverage with CAA called RV+. That way both your tow vehicle and trailer are covered. There are other roadside assistance companies, but we use CAA. Keep all manuals that come with a trailer in one location in your trailer. They don't do you any good at home when you're out camping and something breaks down. If you don't already have it, and your trailer has electric brakes, you'll need a trailer brake controller. That can either be integrated into your tow vehicle, or you can get an aftermarket one. Get vent covers to cover the roof vents. That way you can keep them open when traveling down the road, and you can keep them open in the rain. This allows for good ventilation. For some reason, most trailers don't come with vent covers, and I think they should. Get a tire pressure monitoring system, or TPMS. You want to know what's happening with your trailer tires because a blowout could be dangerous and could cause a lot of damage. The peace of mind that comes with a reliable TPMS is invaluable. If you're camping in Ontario parks, you want about 100 feet of extension cord, 30 amp or 50 amp, whatever your trailer uses. Some of those power pedestals can be pretty far from where you park your trailer. We have the 25-foot cord that comes with the trailer, another 25-foot one, and a 50-foot one. A surge protector or electronics management system to protect your trailer's electrical system from power surges or even low voltage. We like to have a lock for the surge protector so nobody steals it. We like to have a portable water filter. We try to filter all water going into the trailer to keep the water system as clean as possible. Chocks to hold the trailer in place. We prefer the rubber ones over the plastic ones, as they hold up better and they don't smash if you run over them. X-chocks aren't really chocks, they're actually stabilizers. So if you use them, I'd still use regular chocks. Something to level the trailer, whether that be pieces of 6x6 lumber or plastic stackable blocks, or something like a leveling ramp like Anderson levelers. And have a level so you know when you're level. Making sure you have a sewer hose. We like to add a clear section on the hose so that you can see what's flowing through it. That way you can tell when the messy stuff is done coming out. Along with that, you'll want disposable gloves and sanitizer or wipes. You'll need a place to store the sewer hose and that it is contained so it doesn't contaminate other items. We store ours in the rear bumper. Some people have a plastic tube attached underneath to store it, or you can put it in a Rubbermaid bin. If you plan on doing any camping without hookups, even if it's just for overnight, Especially with modern trailers that come with just an electric fridge and no propane option, you should look into getting rid of the 85 to 100 amp hour lead acid battery that likely came with your trailer and swap it out for a bigger lithium iron phosphate battery, like maybe 200 amp hours or more, depending on how many days in a row you plan to camp without hookups. We like to be somewhat self-sufficient, so we carry the tools to fix a flat tire and to maintain tires. That includes a bottle jack to jack up the trailer, a small air compressor, a properly sized tire iron to remove the lug nuts, and an optional torque wrench. When we get a flat tire on the trailer, Ben can have the spare tire on it and have us back on the road in 15 minutes. Waiting for CAA would take much longer. If you plan on staying at parks that have a water hookup, it would be wise to get a water pressure regulator to make sure too much pressure doesn't get into your pipes and cause a problem. When you are fully loaded and going on a camping trip, it would be a good idea to go to a weigh scale and check your weights. You can go to a CAT scale. They often have them at truck stops like the Flying J or Husky. Then type up a card with all the weights and measurements for your truck and trailer and attach it to the driver's visor. It should show trailer height, measure from the ground to the top of the air conditioner. Trailer width, trailer length, measure from the front of the coupler to the rear bumper or spare tire if it sticks out further. The truck and trailer combined length, the loaded trailer weight, loaded truck weight, loaded combined truck and trailer weight. That way you'll know at a moment's notice if you're low enough to fit under that bridge, or if you're light enough to drive over that bridge, or if your total length is short enough to fit onto that ferry. There are so many other small things that we bring to enhance our camping trip, but we can't get into everything here. For instance, we'd immediately swap out the shower head with an oxygenic shower head, and we'd swap out the lousy mattress for a proper one. And you should have a toolbox with basic tools for repairs, with things such as awning repair tape, rubber roof repair tape, RV caulking, spare plumbing parts, fuses, etc. There's lots more stuff, but it's stuff you can figure out for yourself along the way.
So now you've made it to the campground. Find out where to hook up for water. And if it's not a water hookup at the site, make sure you get your water before you set up at the campsite. Make sure you can reach any and all hookups before unhooking. When pulling into a site, have a spotter. I'm always driving, so Cheryl is the spotter. If there is cell service, we use cell phones to communicate using hands-free in the truck. If no cell service, use walkie-talkies. Now, we've all heard those people backing into a site. Husbands and wives yelling at each other and getting heated. Don't be those people. Use directions such as driver's side and passenger side, which is better than left and right when each of you may be facing different directions. Try to get as level as possible from side to side and use levelers if necessary. Always chalk your wheels before unhooking. Have a process and stick to it. Making a list, going through it each time, helps to ensure you're not missing anything. I do all the outdoor setup, and Cheryl does all the indoor setup. We usually finish at around the same time. We do the same thing for packing up the campsite. The same process in reverse.
So that's it. Those are just some of the things we wish we knew when we first started RVing.
And there are so many things to know when you're first learning to RV. A lot of this stuff you have to figure out yourself over time, like we did. There's been a lot of mistakes along the way, but we've learned from them. We hope that this video helps you so that you don't have to make your own mistakes. You can learn from ours.
But we're still learning, and we're not experts in this.
We are definitely not experts in this.
Trial and error.
We are just people that have some experience and a little bit of knowledge and have done some research, and that's how we came up with this stuff.
That's right.
So, thanks for watching. Yeah, little bird's right there. There he goes. See him?
Yeah.